Hello, my name is Ann Kent. I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist and the owner of Peas and Toppiness. Today we're talking about peppers, and I actually have a pepper identification guide that I have available for you to download if you would like, because all the time on the weekends when I go to pick up my CSA from Miller Farms, I encounter this wonderful pile of peppers, but it's hard to know which one is which and how spicy they are and what I should use each of them for. So that's what I'm going to go over today. I'm going to show you the types of peppers that are available specifically from Miller Farms, but that are also pretty common in your area probably as well. So we're going to start from the least spicy to the most spicy. In general, all of these are on the lower end of spice. So spiciness is actually measured using Scoville Heat Unit, and that's a measure of the amount of capsaicin in each of the peppers. So it ranges from a bell pepper, which has a Scoville Heat Unit rating of 0, all the way to ghost peppers and some of the crazy hot peppers that we see that can be upwards of 1,000,000 Scoville Heat Units. So the hottest pepper that I've got today is actually a Dynamite pepper. This is 15,000 Scoville Heat Units, so it is pretty spicy. But I'm going to compare all of those from that 0 to kind of 15,000. So don't worry about those super duper duper spicy peppers. We're not going to go there. But these are what are commonly available, and you'll see for reference that some of these are pretty spicy still. Let's go ahead and start off with the most common pepper we have, and that is the bell pepper. So bell peppers come in different colors, as you can see. Miller Farms has red, which I don't have, but I do have the purple, the white, and then the green. So bell peppers always start off green, but then they ripen to the color based on whatever plant that you have planted. And so that's how we get these different peppers. Red peppers tend to be a little bit sweeter. So do these white peppers. These actually are one of the sweeter bell peppers available. And then green peppers can be just a little bit bitter, but they're very, very mild. They're good for all kinds of cooking. They're a really good workhouse pepper. Moving up just a little bit on the spiciness scale, the next pepper that we have is a Cubanelle. So Cubanelle is very, very similar to a bell pepper. In fact, it can be used in place of a bell pepper in a lot of different recipes. It's the traditional pepper used in things like Spanish gazpacho, but it has a hint of sweetness to it, a little bit more sweet than your typical green bell pepper. You can also use it raw in salads or on sandwiches. You could put it on pizza. So it's a pretty versatile pepper, not a lot of spice, but it's pretty tasty. So that is our Cubanelle. The next pepper we have is an Anaheim pepper. Again, we're going up just a little bit in spiciness. I rate this 1.5 stars of the peppers that we have here. It has a pretty mild flavor. The spiciness can vary quite a bit. So within the peppers, sometimes you'll find a pepper that's very, very spicy, and sometimes you'll find a pepper that's pretty mild, even within the same variety. One thing that can contribute to a spicier pepper is if the pepper has been grown under stress. So for example, if there was a drought, if there was less water, if it was more hot, and that pepper is stressed, you can actually start to see lines on the pepper, which can indicate that stress. And it also happens with age. So if you leave a pepper in the refrigerator for several weeks and it's still good, it can make it a little bit more spicy. So like I said, Anaheims can range quite a bit in spiciness, but they are still one of the more mild peppers. They can be used for things like chili rellenos. They're a traditional hatch chili pepper. So if you're making those sorts of stews or sauces, an Anaheim pepper is a really good workhorse pepper for you there. Moving up another level in spiciness, we have Poblano. So Poblanos have an earthier texture. They have a pretty mild flavor overall, but they have thick skin. There are different colors of Poblano peppers. When they are immature, or when they're less mature, then they'll be more green. And then as they ripen, they become this darker green, sometimes almost a black color. So that just indicates that they are more mature than the others. The red poblanos tend to be just a little bit sweeter than the green ones, but these are another traditional chili relleno pepper. Coating it, stuffing it, and frying it, that's your traditional chili relleno, and it is quite delicious. If you dry the poblano pepper, it is sold dried as an ancho pepper, so you might see that in the store as well. Next level is our Big Jim mealtime, which is a green chili. So if you live in Colorado, if you've eaten Colorado cuisine, you know that green chili is a staple of a lot of Mexican food around here. And so this is the type of chili that you would use in the hatch green chili that you see. So you can roast these, you can stuff them. They're another pepper that's ideal for those chili rellenos. You can use these to make the red enchilada sauce. They are meaty, they're sturdy, they have a kind of a distinctive fruity chili flavor. So again, really great. I rate this a level 2 star out of our 5-star rating of these peppers here. Next pepper up is a Mirasol. So Mirasol actually grow like this. They grow upright. Most peppers grow down on the plant, but Mirasol grows up, and that's how it got its name. Mirasol in Spanish literally means to look towards the sun. So these are a little bit spicier, but they also are very full-bodied. They have sort of a fruity berry flavor. So they're just a little bit sweeter, but they do have a nice spice to them. They are traditionally used in a Mexican mole sauce. If you've seen it on a menu, if you haven't tried it, I highly recommend it. It's a fun sauce to try. When they are dried, they're known as the guajillo pepper. So that is our Mirasol. Next up is the jalapeno. So we rate a jalapeno at a level 3 spiciness, and jalapenos again can vary quite a bit. So the younger, the more immature the jalapeno, likely the less spicy it will be. And then if it's aged more, or again, if it's undergone stress, you can tell by the lines that you might see at the top. They sort of look like stretch marks, which is a weird thing to think about for a vegetable, but they actually, you can see that. It'll make sense if you see those on the pepper. We use these in all kinds of cooking. Of course, they lend great spice, but they also have a really nice flavor to them. So they're more than just heat. You can add these to salsa, add to casseroles if you want to spice things up. You can eat these by themselves. I like to cut them in half, core them, stuff them with cream cheese, wrap them in bacon, and roast them. And they are delicious little jalapeno poppers. So those are our jalapenos. Next up, even spicier than a jalapeno, we have our Hungarian wax. And I have 4 different colors of Hungarian wax for you. So this indicates the level of ripeness of each of these. So you can see that it goes from greenish to yellowish to orangish to red. Red ones are spicier than the immature yellow ones, and they do have a sweet, hot flavor. These can be twice as spicy as jalapenos. So even though my guide is sort of jalapenos are spicy, there's a lot of peppers out there that are way spicier than jalapenos, and those include these little guys. So you can roast these and throw them in with other vegetables. You can pickle these. You can use them raw if you would like, but because it can vary quite a bit, I would use with caution and probably add them to other vegetables and not use them by themselves. And this brings me to our hottest pepper, which I'm not even going to touch by the pepper part because it is really, really spicy. This is a Dynamite pepper. It looks ominous, doesn't it? It's all squiggly. Not all of the Dynamites have as many texture and layers as this one does, but Dynamites are just really, really hot. So they don't have as much of that fruity flavor. They just have more heat. So Dynamites are going to be good to add to something when you really just want to up the spice level. So if you're wanting to make a really hot chili, for example, you could definitely add some of this Dynamite pepper, but you are probably not going to want to eat this raw. You're probably not going to want to eat it by itself or grilled with your other veggies because it's just going to be too hot. So watch out for that one if you do see that at the farmer's market. Dynamites are a little bit harder to find elsewhere. They're pretty common here in Colorado, but if you're not from here or not going to one of our local markets, you might have trouble encountering one of these. So that's just a quick overview of the peppers that you will see at the Miller Farms stand if you are a Miller Farms customer like I am. And if you would like that guide, I did drop a link so you can find a nice little picture of each of those peppers, a description of the flavor, and some of the common uses of that pepper. So feel free to grab that if that would be helpful. I have it saved to my phone so I can just pull it up when I am shuffling through the pile of peppers. If you have any questions, make sure to drop a comment and I'd be happy to answer them. If you have a favorite pepper that you did not see here, there are so many pepper varieties across the US, across the world really, and so we have barely scratched the surface on all of the different chili peppers. But again, these are some of the more common ones. So if you have a favorite that I didn't show, drop a comment and let me know what it is. And if you have any questions, make sure to ask. So thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Take care.